You've learned how to behave online and protect your digital identity. But here's the real challenge. When you search for information online, how do you know what to trust? And welcome back once again. In lesson 2, we focused on digital citizenship, how to build your digital identity, behave responsibly online, and understand that what you do online can last forever. Now, in lesson 3, we take things a step further. It's not just about being online, no, far from that. It's about using information the right way. Every day we search for information, whether it's for school, work, business, or personal decisions. But the internet is filled with both reliable and misleading information. So the question is, how do you search smarter? In this lesson, you will learn how to use effective search techniques, find the information within files and web pages, understand copyright, and how to use digital content responsibly. So by the end of the lesson, you won't just search, you will find the right information faster and more confidently. Let's get into it. We're still dealing with level 1 of our IC3 GS6. Yeah. And under lesson 3, we are looking at information management. And we only have about 3 major objectives to go through. So we're going to look at use and refine criteria for online searches, understand methods for searching within digital content, and understand copyright and licensing restrictions for digital content. Stick and stay whilst I take my time to explain the concept. So we've got a problem, and what is this problem? It is the information problem. And when you look at what's happening all over the world, we've got millions of websites, and day in, day out, people are publishing information online. And it's a lot, from the Snapchat, from Instagram, from the blogs, from the news. A whole lot of information is just trickling in on X, on Twitter. So not all information you see out there is reliable. Okay. Then if you want to search for the information, you need to have an understanding of types of websites as we build on this journey. So we've got website for business. So we have product or services, a business selling a product or a service. We've got government policies and what forms, social media posts, interactions, blogs, opinions of people, of the author, wiki, which is editable info, and educational website, which usually ends with .edu, which is mostly reliable. Okay, so understanding that, okay, we've got different types of websites. So if I'm searching for information, what sort of information am I looking for? Is it one pertaining to a business? Is it one pertaining to a government? So that will give you an idea of where to go to look for that information. So let's look at a real life example where you want to buy a phone. Then you pause. Okay, where can I get a phone? Okay, I'll need to locate a website that sells phone. So are you looking for a particular brand? Do I want to purchase from the original manufacturer's website? I want to go to Amazon, maybe go to HP, go to Apple. So you need to have a think. Then, okay, let me check. Let me check a forum where people that have used the phone, what are they saying about it? So reviews, and that will help you understand, okay, am I buying a good product or not? Then you can go to YouTube where people have recorded videos on how the features of the phone works and whether it's good or not, depending on where they're coming from. Then based on that, you can compare the sources and say, okay, yeah, I think I'll go and buy this phone. So this is how you search for information, understanding the types of websites and also understanding that We have loads of information coming in every second of the day. Okay, then we come to websites and search engines, and people usually confuse the two. So website search only that site. So if you go to, let's say, my website, fittsgh.net, and there is a magnifying glass, which I don't have, but when you go to searchport.com, you'll see a small magnifying glass which you can use to search within the website. It doesn't go outside of it. But search engine's job is to search the entire internet. That is why you get loads of links leading you to various sites. So you need to know where you are searching. Okay. Then what tools to find information? So we've got examples like Google search, Bing, Yahoo search. We have mama.com, Alta Vista. So you can just Google types of search engines and you get loads of it. Then you can try your hands on it. So they search pages, they index keywords, and they show results. So depending on your search strategy and technique that you use, that's going to tell you whether you're going to get the information you need quickly or not. And this is very important for those studying undergraduate, those doing their postgraduate studies. You need to understand how to search and do your research online. And we have smart search techniques. So you need to use specific keywords like quotation marks, avoid vague words. So examples are like, okay, you're looking for cars. That's too, broad and general. So you need to be specific. Oh, best electric cars 2025 found in Ghana. Boom. So the search engine will just give you that. But if you say cars, you get a whole lot. So that's how you narrow the search using some of these techniques. So let's look at this case study. Search engines look for web resources that contain the keywords included in your search query. So which two techniques should you use to help you define effective search queries? So you use specific words that are relevant to your topic or goal. Is that correct? Use caps to identify words that you want to keep together. Use generic words that are relevant to your topic or goal, and include verb forms and then ing, ed, or whatever, and use quotation marks to enclose words that you want to keep together. So think about it for a minute. What do you think is the answer? So if you thought that, oh, it's A, where you use specific words that are relevant to your topic or goal, you got it right. Then what's the next option? You use quotation marks to enclose words that you want to keep together. So as we advance, we get to level 2, you get to understand how to use Boolean operators and certain, techniques in searching for information online. So just stick and stay. Level 1 is all about knowing what to do. So I just Googled this, I think this afternoon. I just searched for IC3 GS6 certification guide, and my videos popped up. My website is there, which is pretty cool, I think. So it puts me on top, which is search engine optimization. Yeah, so we'll talk about that as we progress through the lesson, so that whenever somebody uses a keyword, you will stay on top. They will get to see your content and they can, get in touch with you. Then after searching, you need to also look at referencing information. So search engines look for web resources that contain the keywords included in the search query. Okay. Which two techniques should you use? Oh, sorry about that. So most content is copyrighted, and using without credits is equal to what? Plagiarism. So you pick a content and you don't acknowledge the source, then that's what's going to happen. So be mindful of that and always cite your sources. Okay. So referencing information is very important. So the APA format, the MLA format, those in academia, and maybe later I'll start a series on Microsoft Office Specialist, which is wide. You understand how to use the references stuff for some of these stuff. Okay. So that's a wrap. And if you want to learn more about the IC3, you head over to certiport.com/IC3. And if you want a copy of the certification guide for Global Standard 6, you can go to my shop, fittsgh.net/shop, to, place an order. Then I'll be able to get it for you in less than 24 hours. And if you've not subscribed, please do so, and see you in my next lesson. God bless. Bye-bye for now.